Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And it hasn't taken long for the baleful influence of the SNP to subsume itself into the new Chief of Police Scotland. Already we know she has stolen because she used police resources when she shouldn't have done. She's availed herself of these simply for her own benefit, and when you use resources for your own benefit, that is theft. She has apologised, but she has not yet paid back. And the moment that happened, of course, it meant that the SNP owned her. They owned the police beforehand with Ian Livingstone, and now they own the police again under Jo Farrell. And it gets worse, because not only is it the sort of the influence by the misdemeanours, the illegality, the criminality, but now, of course, there's also the secrecy. We know the SNP are a very secretive lot. They don't like to let anyone know what's going on. And now the same is being true of the police, because the most senior civilian employee of Police Scotland has laid a complaint about Jo Farrell, and we think presumably about her misuse of police resources during that event when she got the lift home. And then when they're asked about it, shh, we're not saying. We're covering it up. We're hiding the truth from the people who need to know. You know, the ones who pay their wages. Let's have a look. So, Police Scotland shambles as a complaint lodged against the beleaguered new top cop, Jo Farrell. Only 2 weeks into the job, and then says, oh, look, there's a bit of a storm. I know we've got limited resources. I know we've got limited numbers of policemen, but I'm going to take an entire car and an entire policeman off doing what they need to be doing during a storm. I'm going to get them to drive hundreds of miles, taking virtually a whole shift to do it, just so I can go home. Even though I could go across the road and knock myself into a hotel for the night. After all, I'm paid a vast amount of money. I can certainly afford it. But instead she does that, putting not only other people's lives at risk, but there was no risk assessment on that guy driving home at night alone in a storm. There was no risk assessment for that policeman's job and that policeman's life and that policeman's safety, was there? Not at all. As long as she can get her ass home so that she can, you know, sit there and count the money she's earned during the day from the comfort of her own bed. And she didn't pay it back. All that fuel, all that time, the resources of the police used for her own benefit. A crime. It's called theft. Well, she has had a complaint raised against her by someone within the force. And now, of course, they've shut all their mouths. They're closing shop. We mustn't talk about this. And there's a reason, of course. It's because they know that what she's done is a crime. And nobody is arresting her. No one is charging her. And no one has even billed her. Anyway, the Scottish Police Authority have been caught up in a new secrecy row after refusing to confirm or deny whether a probe has been launched into the new Chief Constable, Jo Farrell. So they're learning all this secrecy already from the SNP. The SNP, who control now the police via her, have said, no, you've got to be secret. You've got to be secret. You can't tell the truth. Never, ever tell anyone anything. Everything's got to be a secret. Police Scotland's top brass is suffering another crisis as an official complaint has been made against the new Chief Constable Jo Farrell. Her time in the hot seat has been beset with issues. Now, you think she's only been there 2 months. But it's been beset with issues, and the latest has sparked concerns about infighting within the centralised force. A lot of people don't like working with her. Day one on the job, day one, walks in and says, this force is institutionally racist. Day one. I mean, talk about making a bad impression. You've just walked in and told every person who works under you that they're racist. What a way to win hearts and minds, Jo. Anyway, it's understood that the Deputy Chief Officer, David Page, who is the force's top civilian staff member, has lodged a grievance against her, which dates back to October, which of course at the time of that Storm Babette, when she stole from the police. He is currently on leave while this is investigated. Miss Farrell was forced to apologise publicly after demanding to be driven home to Northumberland from Edinburgh. Apologised, yes, but did not repay the costs. This was after the trains were cancelled during Storm Babette. Her and another English-based cop were taken down south by an on-duty police officer in a patrol car. And now her conduct is being investigated after Mr. Page lodged a complaint just weeks after she officially started the job in October. He's a former Army intelligence officer and earns around $200,000 a year for his top job at Police Scotland, where he oversees departments such as finance, procurement and estates. The Scottish Police Authority refused to confirm or deny the existence of this probe, leading to a secrecy row. Why are they being so secret about this? If there's a genuine complaint against a senior officer, it needs to be open, it needs to be out. People need to know what's going on. How can they possibly have any faith or trust in an organisation that is completely secretive like this? There cannot be. Unless the police are open, why should anyone trust them? Mr. Page is said to have been angered by Miss Farrell's move to bring in a senior official from her former Durham Constabulary, Gary Riddle, to advise on issues such as finance. He was the cop that was given a lift home to England. So you have to wonder what kind of relationship is going on there. He turns up from England, little secretive meetings, looking to undermine the people that are already there in Police Scotland, and then she steals all this stuff to get him and her home. Makes you wonder if there isn't more to this relationship, doesn't it? Anyway, sources confirmed that Mr. Page had been off work for several months and that he felt undermined due to the new appointment. Two of Scotland's most senior cops have already confirmed that they will be seeking retirement in the next few months. Rats leaving a sinking ship, perhaps, but nonetheless all since she took over. So many people don't like her. She's divisive. She's untrustworthy. She is snide. She will undermine everything she wants to destroy before finally destroying it. It's no wonder these people are leaving. Why should they? They've got no faith in her. Remember, day one, she annoys everyone, and ever since then, it's just gone downhill. Miss Farrell has already provoked bad headlines due to her error in judgment in getting an on-duty traffic officer to give her the lift home. And then Scottish Conservative Justice spokesman Russell Findlay said, since being created by the SNP government a decade ago, Police Scotland has often been accused of lacking transparency. Say it ain't so. Which is unhealthy, unhelpful and undermines public confidence. I literally just said that. All public bodies have a duty to be candid about such important issues, and I would urge ministers, Police Scotland and the SPA to come clean about exactly what is going on. Police Scotland said any inquiries of this nature about chief officers should be directed to the Scottish Police Authority, but the SPA refused to comment about the incident. A spokesman said the authority does not confirm or comment on this type of inquiry, when it bloody well should. It's coming out of public money. The public have a right to know. And if there is a crook running Police Scotland, that's got to be addressed. Anyway, Miss Farrell became the first woman to be appointed to lead Police Scotland last year. Well, whoopee-doo. That's supposed to be something that we're proud of. She's also the first criminal to lead Police Scotland, or at least the first criminal that we're aware of. Anyway, this was to replace Sir Ian Livingston, who was also owned by the SNP, and he retired last year. Deputy Chief Constable Malcolm Graham is understood to also have been a candidate, but he lost out, and now he's going, and everyone's leaving because they just can't work with her. She's an awful woman, and what hope has Scotland got when you've got a police force owned by the SNP at the behest of a criminal who's controlling the police and who thinks that stealing public resources is perfectly acceptable? It's not going to be good, is it? What price law and order in Scotland? I'm coming up. So all these things are coming out about this one woman, all within 2 months of her taking the job. It makes you wonder what else is happening that hasn't yet come out, or what else she's going to do over the next 2 months and the next year, or however long she stays in position. But there can be no trust in her. People cannot trust the police that are led by a criminal. They cannot trust the police led by someone who steals from the public purse. And then to go behind officers' back, to upset people like this, to go in and make ill-judged comments, it's just shady, snide, sleek it, and secretive. It's not good. It's not how the police should run. And she needs to resign. And then they need to get the entire police Scotland broken up and put back into several forces. I know that the SNP don't want to do that. It's much easier to control the whole of the police if there's only one chief constable that you have to buy and put in your pocket, which is what they've done. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope that's been interesting enough for you to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell and leave a like and leave a comment. Until next time, stay safe, stay well, and I will speak to you later. Bye.